Jean Sheehan is the founder of Millennial Education, a holistic education course for self-development and empowerment. She has authored 6 best-selling books, and she has an incredible gift of medical intuition that I can't wait to hear more about today. Please welcome the intuitive Jean Sheehan to the Girlfriend Hour couch. Woo! Hi, beautiful. How are you?
I'm good.
So excited to have you here today.
I am super excited to be here, Shar.
It's just such an interesting line of work that you've chosen to go into, or maybe it chose you. But you have such an interesting background. So tell everyone here about medical intuition and how you discovered that as a young child, actually.
Sure. So what is medical intuition? It is understanding the body besides Western medicine, that there's a superpower within each person called intuition. But the body will talk, and a headache is not just a headache, or cancer is not just a cancer. There's a story behind the story. How did I get into it? Where did it come from? I was born seeing the anatomy and physiology inside people. And that was kind of freaky. I grew up in Kuwait, and that was just taboo. It was seen as evil. And along the way, it found me. I was told it was evil, but I knew something within me. I had to share it. So I went to destiny of nursing, pathology and autopsies and brought it all together.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's incredible. And growing up in Kuwait, again, as you said, it would have been such a foreign thing for people there to know that that's what you were gifted with. But as a child, this wouldn't have been a really easy gift to live with. How did that affect your childhood?
Yeah, so I was pinned with an evil eye. In the area that I lived in, I had an evil eye saying, you're bad, you're wrong. After I was born, my mum had cancer of the uterus, and I was blamed for that. So, yeah, the culture was very much not accepting of it. But that was all part of the journey as well.
And as a child growing up and going to school, you would hear or see or feel things, I guess, that others wouldn't. How did you cope with that, Jean?
So I didn't know how to say. I thought all of you could see like I could. So I would openly say that person's going to die, or that person's got something in them. And again, I was seen as bad, evil. So I learnt to shut down. I learnt not to say anything, and I learnt that it wasn't a gift, it was actually a lot of torture. So I didn't say anything, and I became really timid and quiet. Yeah.
And did it scare you hearing things or seeing things in others? And did it scare you as a child? Because I guess back then you wouldn't have learnt what you know now and understand it as much as you do, that when you're hearing or seeing things, did you sort of go, oh, wow, what's that?
Initially, no, because children are quite innocent.
Yes.
But then with adults telling me it was bad and evil, I started to think, it's bad, it's wrong, don't do it. But I couldn't switch it off. Like I can see your beautiful outfit today, I can see all of the inside beautiful bits within as well.
Oh, you'll have to fill me in what's going on the inside. Now, your decision to become a nurse, how did that come about for you?
So I was 16 years old. My mum was dying of cancer, liver and bowel cancer. I was nursing her at home. She was 43, and I couldn't cope. And I felt very guilty putting her into the hospital, but I couldn't cope at home, and she died on Christmas Day.
Oh.
And I became homeless from that time, and I made a decision that I need to give back to her, but is this the answer to understand the medical side plus the intuitive side? So that's when I made the decision, whilst I was homeless, I would finish school and go into nursing. And then the journey took it from there.
Amazing. And Jean, you got a nickname of the walking MRI. So that's not a nickname that I think a lot of us would have. It's certainly not my nickname. How did you get the term walking MRI? Where did that come from?
So I had a gorgeous client who was told, you've got to go and see Jean. You've had a hit on the head. He was attacked. He had all these things. The medical system couldn't find it. So he came to me for a consult. And straight away I just said, it's this, and you've got that, because I could see it like an MRI. Blood test, what are you? Oh. A walking, talking MRI? And it stuck. So that's how I'm known now, the walking, talking MRI.
Oh my gosh. And I'd imagine that that is a great gift to have. And certainly I think all of us would probably love to know things like that, especially about our loved ones. But does it also come with a bit of strain and pressure, being able to see things in others, and especially when you care for them? How has that affected you, your life, your family?
Yep. More when I was nursing, because I could see the patients, what was going to happen, and that the strategy or the procedure they'd take would actually kill them. So I couldn't say anything, and I just had to learn that that was their journey. As I've got maturer or older, I've learnt that it's not actually in my business. I can see, let them go through the process. But initially, it was quite stressful holding back. What do I say? Do I tell them? What do I say?
Oh, yeah, because there's a responsibility, I guess.
Yes.
But then if they haven't asked for it, then it's not actually your responsibility unless they are willing and open to receive the information. Because it's like everything. If we're not ready to hear it, we've got closed ears. We've got, 2 mouths and 1 ear rather than the other way around.
Yes.
And what does it mean when you talk about connecting through the heart? What does that actually mean?
That's it. The good question. So connecting with the heart, like you can see my heart glasses, it's that knowing where you really connect with the person, the thing, the situation, and there's just all you can have is love. And you just love the person. That's actually part of medical intuition, is just love them. And that's when everything does work out.
Yes, and it is, it's very much, I think all of us have probably been through this as well, where when we actually just stop and get out of our head for a moment, and look, we do need to, we've had some great people on this show on the business sense, and we need to look at all that side. And I think it's great having the balance, Jean, with you being on the show as well today, is that we can have the business side of it, but then having that heart side and looking through that lens every so often. How is it feeling? Is that what you're teaching your clients as well?
So feeling and intuition, I actually say we have 3 superpowers. Feeling, emotion, intuition. Okay. But we're so frightened of feelings, and the feelings aren't always bad. It's like if I think of a mango, my feelings are, give it to me now. I want it. Give it.
And now you've made me hungry. Thank you. Now I've got mango on the brain.
And then you go into the emotion of love, and then your intuition, it will direct you exactly where the mangoes are on sale, or a box of mangoes or whatever. So the superpowers are, we naturally do it, and especially for females, but we're frightened of that superpower.
Yes, I know there's sometimes where I've felt something really strongly, but it hasn't, fit with my plan. My control side is like, no. And then other times it's like, well, I'm just being called there, and it keeps showing up. I'm like, okay, I'll listen. And I finally do, and it works out brilliantly. And it's sometimes, I think, because our control nature. Anyone else a control freak here today? Yes, hello. And if it isn't in that plan, but then when we do trust it, the universe has our back. Big time, and it does know more than we do. And Jean, as we wrap up today, what's been your greatest lesson so far?
Probably the greatest lesson I've ever had, and I teach and will keep forever, is it always works out. Sometimes when we're in the throes of monkey mind, again, we just, as you said, the universe has always got our back, but ultimately it always works out.
It always works out. We need that on a T-shirt. Well, thank you so much for being here today.
It's never too late to become a cover girl. We're looking for incredible women to be profiled in our upcoming issue of Feminescence magazine. Share your story with an international audience, unlock new opportunities, inspire a new network of supporters. It's time to back yourself. We can't wait to hear about the magic that is you. Visit feminescence.com.au to find out more. Come on, what are you waiting for? Carpe diem, girlfriend.